Kroger announced a $25 billion purchase of rival grocer Albertsons a few weeks ago to better compete with big box retailers. A congressional antitrust committee is expected to examine the proposed merger in a hearing this month. And Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders have written a letter to the Federal Trade Commission asking it to block the deal. It comes at a time when U.S. regulators have become the most aggressive in challenging mergers in the past 30 years, according to antitrust partner John Dubrow with McDermott, Will, and Emery.
Companies need to understand that transactions that in the past would have been reviewed, maybe there was an isolated problem, that problem could be resolved through a consent order. That is much less likely to happen now. And so companies need to be more prepared to litigate if they feel like the government's overreaching.
Kroger and Albertsons are the number 1 and number 2 standalone grocers in the United States. However, they both trail Walmart in terms of grocery sales in the U.S. by a wide margin. If the FTC tries to define Walmart as outside the grocery market, the government could have more success in preventing the merger. That's according to University of Baltimore Law School professor Robert Land, who says the FTC pursued this approach in 2014 after Albertsons announced a deal to buy the grocery chain Safeway, though that deal ended up going through.
The government might try to eliminate Walmart and Costco, and if they can, then their chances of success in this merger rise tremendously.
Companies looking to merge often divest some assets to address concerns of market dominance. Kroger and Albertsons have offered to divest hundreds of stores and may put some of them into a spin-off company owned by Albertsons shareholders. But it's not always a successful strategy. In the 2014 Albertsons-Safeway merger, divested stores were sold to a smaller competitor that subsequently went bankrupt. Here's New York University School of Law professor Harry First.
It's actually hard to divest pieces of big supermarket chains and somehow, through some alchemy, make effective competitors.
He also thinks inflation could play a role.
The judge buys eggs. Prices have gone up, but we're going to allow a merger that in a number of markets may reduce the number of competitors? Tell me how this is good for consumers? Run that by me again?
While Professor Land thinks FTC Chair Lina Khan has other fish to fry.
Her main thing is high-tech antitrust, and in particular going after Amazon. She can't afford to spend too many resources on non-high-tech areas, or she just won't have the lawyers and economists to challenge Amazon and the other big high-tech companies.
Even if the FTC decides not to challenge this deal, the grocers may have to contend with regulators on the state and local level who are now taking a closer look at it, such as District of Columbia Attorney General Karl Racine. For Reuters Legal News, I'm Alex Cohen.